Well, it is B that we all know from Age of Empires. He actually tried to dabble into Warcraft 3 as well, was then a couple of times eliminated early in tournaments. He had a his very own playstyle that defied any meta game and then eventually wasn't too successful. But mechanics, he got that. And he was very good at Zero Space. He was very good, or he is very good at Stormgate as well. And his opponent is NightPhoenix, who's currently number 7 on the ladder.
Oh, wow. Really high ranked player. It's going to be another Vanguard versus Infernals matchup then for us. Players are in the lobby and we should be getting this one ready to go pretty soon. So this is going to be round 2. After that, the winner will have one more match to win and with that be qualified. As we mentioned to you already today at the start of the broadcast, 64 players here today in the second stage of the Open Qualifier, and 8 will survive today. We will have all 8 players determined by the end of the day, which will still be a few more hours, of course.
Thankfully, because you know what they say, more Stormgate is always more good. We're waiting currently for B to give us the go, and then we're ready to go. B has defeated Soul Spirit, while NightPhoenix has defeated Nomis King, both with a 2-0 so far. Now they're clashing. Once again, the starting map today is always Jagged Maw. And I wonder if NightPhoenix has a better counter to the Horn Dog.
I was about to say, almost seems like you have to play Horn Dog here, right? On this map, the Hornet specifically seems so good. I guess the dogs have a little way to travel at the start of the game when the barricades in the middle aren't destroyed yet, but the dogs are so fast, and of course one is out immediately, and that's gonna give you momentum right away as the Vanguard. We're gonna see Infernal on the back foot, not on the back foot, but on the defense for the start of the game, most likely.
And maybe we can get some cheese here for the Infernal side. You can go for the speed camp, you can go for the siege camp. So wonder if NightPhoenix takes advantage of that. It should be a very, very different game to what we've seen before. And then who's the better gamer of the two is the big question.
Yeah, the siege camp specialty on this map. You can't really control it, but you can kind of move it around with your own army if you follow it and block it in certain ways, right?
I'm not too sure. I never go for that thing. It scares me. The big chicken guarding it scares me. I think that chicken would certainly survive in Kentucky as well.
As one of the few, I guess. Chicken and bourbon, Kentucky specialty. We are getting ready for our next match. It's gonna be, yeah, NightPhoenix versus B, a CIS clash. And here we go.
Let's go, everybody. NightPhoenix as the Infernal player on the upper right-hand side, and B as the Vanguard player at the bottom right-hand side. Okay, let's see. Maybe we won't get the Horn Dog, but I would be very surprised. It seems to be such a strong strat here. One of the Bobs are a little bit confused, but okay. I think first and foremost, you gotta defend the 2 dogs, and you really, really, really don't want to lose your Gaunt.
Yeah, if you can trade 1-for-1 between the dogs and the Imps, that would be also wonderful if you have some dogs still alive. But yeah, we've been seeing quite a few Gaunts going down early. We have the Conclaves coming, but no Ethereum mining at the moment.
Oh, that will be necessary. Should switch a couple of workers over then to Ethereum to be able to afford the bonds. Maybe he dashes them out at the same time, then he can still have some. B comes in as seed 34. I think that is a little on the lower side. He should be way better than that, as Chad is informing us that he takes maps off of the top seeded players like Mana. So just because he's the lower seed, I wouldn't underestimate him.
By the way, we saw an early biokinetics lab, and that should mean upgrade for the dogs, shouldn't it? Their upgrade is the Beryllium Claws, and that gives them 16 bonus damage versus light.
Yep.
Which is the
and
Gaunts.
that is the Gaunts, and that is also workers.
And he's hiding about the dogs, only showing one of them. Wants to create a false sense of security for his opponent here, perhaps, is B. Tricky play by our Vanguard player.
I like that. Also, no gaunts, no brutes at all. So, whew, these dogs are scary. Nicely
Oh.
guarding.
How many do you need to jump on these 3 gaunts?
I
Oh,
think he one-shot with 5.
He salvaged the Biokinetics lab. Did he
Yep.
finish the upgrade?
He must
Must
have,
have,
otherwise
yeah, must
it was
have,
pretty
yeah.
much for nothing. Yeah, you can salvage buildings as Vanguard to get everything back. Here we go, onto the dogs. These gaunts need to do some sick damage. Oh boy, 1 down, 2 down.
Oh my god.
No, it's a disaster. 1 gaunt survives and the dogs
Wow, the
all hurt.
saves! Are you
Big
kidding me?
plays by B.
Dude, sick micro on these dogs. Somehow 1 gaunt survived, but if you can heal all those up again and come back for round 2, this should be the perfect start for B.
Exactly. And then we go into Lancers, and again, the answer to Lancers is so hard to find in the early mid-game, late early game stages. Whew, this was a huge exclamation mark for the lower seeded players. And here we go.
Oh,
Lots
he's
of
got a
repair with the
Repair-O-Matic.
Repair-O-Matic.
Sick. You mentioned it earlier, the dogs are mechanical and biological at the same time, so they can be healed and repaired. This just seems like a sick start. Beautiful build by B.
And man, this pressure, he will not let go of it. Dogs, not the craziest versus buildings, but everything that comes down this ramp. They got the scent, man. This pack of dogs, it's hungry.
Is there an Iron Vault by now for NightPhoenix? Seems like he needs some brutes, right?
Need some beef. But yeah,
Another
only
conclave.
coming in now.
Okay.
This is so many dogs. Now, how much is it? Like 10?
Oh,
Here we
swarming
go
in.
again!
This could be it.
Oh, he covers the retreat! The ramp was pretty much his! And it's another one, and another,
It's a massacre.
and another. No chance at all for NightPhoenix so far.
5 fresh gaunts coming from the main base. Is that enough? B playing it safe. Not going to commit in here. This is how he could lose the lead. If he commits again with the dogs and loses them all, and then they all turn into fiends. I like B's play here.
How does NightPhoenix get out of this? Must have a comeback mechanic in mind.
Oh, he stole the last hit! Oh my god, he's playing Dota right now with the dogs. Are you kidding me? Dude, B is pulling off a clinic here.
I told you, man, don't underestimate B. He got the expo up thanks to Bob Overcharge fast build. And now he can go into pretty much whatever he wants.
Sees everything all the time thanks to the scout ability from the dogs. And here they come in once again trying to surround all these gaunts. This might be perhaps finally a trade going NightPhoenix's way. It's still a close call. Who's got the superior numbers in the end? 2 gaunts, 3 gaunts still left. And I think NightPhoenix finally is able to win one of these fights.
Maybe a bit of an overcommitment here, but maybe you also want to rotate out of dogs anyway, so you throw them away. Whew, there was a lot of damage done in the early game. And now, what's the follow-up is the big question. Little bit of repair once more. We got 2 barracks up now. And is there a switch even? Feels like NightPhoenix is getting a little more confident, pushing out on the map. And there is the big speed camp on the left-hand side.
We're just going to take here, get some more fiends from this. And nice speed boost right after. You know, despite the great kills that B found early game, it seems like he wasn't really able to ramp up on the macro side too much. No big army following, no third base, certainly. Even the second base was not saturated for a long, long time properly. So it seems like we might still be in a very even game here.
Wow. Really? A pun like this? We might be in a game? I like it. You know me.
Pardon me.
No, pardon
pardon
that.
the B.
No. We have a Shroud Stone coming up. That protects greatly against the dogs. They have, of course, a vision advantage. Sees the enemy army movement even under the fog of war. And now, this is something we haven't seen at all in the first game, really. Oh, I think at the end. But we're moving towards the siege camp and get the big catapult.
Okay, this will be a true test for B, because certainly these Gons are going to get this camp. The dogs have nothing to answer here at the moment. At home, there's Bio Army being built. Lots of Lancers.
And then we move into Exos. But yeah, first he has to defend the siege. Dog still getting information. Saying, okay, you're doubling it. Oh boy, double siege camp. With all the fiends, they can block, of course. Damage seems fine. But the catapult
siege
is
creep,
on its
though.
own.
Yeah, a little too far forward. Some Lancers being sent out early. But it's not that many Lancers yet.
Ooh, and of course, every single one that falls becomes a fiend. But you see again how tanky the boys are. First catapult dealt with. NightPhoenix was probably hoping for something better. And this expansion on the right-hand side is very, very rich on Luminite. And it's not getting punished so far.
It's not been scouted, dude. It's not been scouted. The Lancers, by the way, so fast. They have that upgrade, of course, which gives them increased attack speed and move speed when they get attacked by the enemy.
Okay, second try with that. Lots and lots of gaunts. Kinetic redirection is up, so the movement that you are talking about. Also, the damage is always diminished by 3, whatever attacks them, and so the gaunts infest damage is not really reaching them so far. Okay, here's the big push. This has to work for NightPhoenix.
We have some Shroud here deployed as well. A ritual for some Animus. Here we go, going for the Buzzsaw cannon right away. Mass repair, can he hold it? Such an important building to keep standing, but it does go down. Again, the catapult is helping out. Oh, but the Gaunts are quickly falling as well.
That's right, lots of AoE damage coming from the Lancers as well. They're so fast, can't really deal with them, can you? The Fiends are helping out to a degree. Whoa, we cover everything in Shroudy with the effigy. Oh boy, I don't think that's gonna help them. They get a little bit of white health back now, and of course lots of animals, and that might just help turn the tides.
Yeah, we have a bunch of Fiends here. We have still a good number of Gaunts, and it's hard to get to them. We don't have the Exos just yet. We don't have the range yet to snipe them at the moment, and the command post is taking tons of damage. The second base might just be going down.
Holy moly, that top bar ability coming in clutch for NightPhoenix, despite the dog harass in the beginning. But he still has that double base on the right-hand side, and Lancers only cost Therium, which he gets in masses. So maybe holding on is enough to stabilize.
Oh, but there's so little production, it seems like, for B. 2 Lancers coming at a time, but it seems like NightPhoenix, on the other hand, has way more production. Lots of Brutes and Gaunts always streaming in. Trying to snipe now some Gaunts at the back, but good control here also by NightPhoenix. Keeps them safe. The glaive attacks from the Gaunts still bouncing. Some Bobs in trouble as well. And this command post seems to be gone soon.
Right on. As bad as Gaunts are against Lancers, against Bobs, they are fantastic as long as they're not overcharged. And there might not be enough. Okay, they are overcharged now, so this is the moment to push out. The effigy is gone. No more Shroud for NightPhoenix.
But such a big force here for our Infernals player. More Gaunts coming in from the main base, and more kills, of course, always mean more Fiends. It's time to swarm over this Vanguard player, isn't it? Even with this third base completely undetected, it seems like NightPhoenix might just have enough to overwhelm. Can't believe this command post hasn't fallen yet. Now it is, though, and that is the game. NightPhoenix with the first map.
What a sick comeback this was, man. When the pack of dogs was in his base or his expansion, we might thought this is it. This is too much damage in the early game. You can't really recover, but with the catapults and with the top bar abilities, NightPhoenix brought this back. There is a reason why he's top 7 on the ladder. He's not just good at openings, but also knows how to adapt in that early stage that this game is in. Very, very clutch comeback from him.
Yeah, nice to see him so resilient here, despite this disaster of an early game where many players would crumble mentally. He knew how to come back into this game with the catapult wave. He was doing a great job with his Gaunt army. But I wonder, something may have gone wrong there on the macro side for B, right? Seems like after all this pressure, after all these dog kills, shouldn't there have been a faster expansion? Shouldn't there have been more Bobs? Shouldn't there have been more income and a stronger transition? Because despite the tremendous damage early game, it seems like it took forever until we finally got some Lancers out. And it wasn't very many of them, to be honest. Did we even see a single Exo? I don't think so.
No, it was dogs first, then Lancers. Maybe didn't have the resources at the end for the tech building that you need. But yeah, without additional information provided by an overlay, it's hard to see what was going on there. Maybe slipping on the macro side, bit overwhelmed with the micro of the dogs because they die so quickly if you don't take care of them. Hard to make an estimation here, but it looked like you have to make more work with the great early game that you got.
Yeah, certainly felt that way. Although our intuition, certainly my intuition, might still be a bit off. It's early days still. We're still trying all to get a feeling for the game, a rough understanding. And now it's going to be the decision with our Vanguard player. B, what map is he going to choose? Once again, we have 3 to pick from. Broken Crown, Secluded Grove, Titan's Causeway. Titan's Causeway already, earlier we saw, was looking pretty difficult for you, Thermal, when you had to play on it. So wouldn't necessarily expect that next.
We go Broken Crown, baby. Lots of creep camps here. Probably speed camps taken early, because that's something we haven't seen for now. So very excited about NightPhoenix's opening. We're ready to go. Map number 2. The favorite, one of the top players on the ladder, is ready to go into the round of 16, which would then be the last round he has to be successful in to qualify for the main event. And B is fighting for his tournament life.
Hopefully he can bring it back here, take us to a 3rd map. Again, our previous series was quite exciting already. We don't know which race is going to be waiting for them in the next round, by the way. Could be either Infernal from Adagramus from Poland, or Mixu, the Vanguard player from Finland.
Dude, Mixu, I guess, got a lot of fans in the chat already. Wherever is RTS, Mixu is part of it. And that would be one hell of a matchup here. At the bottom left-hand side, we see NightPhoenix in the blue. We got B as the Vanguard player on the upper right-hand side, already rushing across with the Scout Dog.
Forcing the imp off the Ethereum right away. The Scout Dog, indeed, wonderfully always able to give you that information, scout perfectly for you, figure out what's going on. And again, it seems to be the same build, right? Conclave's coming out right away. Seems like NightPhoenix really isn't interested in the brutes too much. Not at the start, anyways.
Curious. Don't you need something to block early on, I wonder? Well, maybe you don't. Here, no catapults, no easy rush distance, but we certainly will see more dogs. Because that worked great on map 1. Why change anything?
Seems to be the same opening here indeed, with a biokinetics lab. Once again, the dogs are going to get their upgrades. The upgrade, singular. Beryllium Claws for more damage. Lots more against light units. Taking out some camps already. Oh, this is something I don't know. Do the creep camps also have armor types?
Huh. That's a good question. It certainly looks like it. You know, my knowledge about creeps is limited.
It just says armor, no heavy or light, so it doesn't look like it, although that could be hidden, perhaps. Like in Dota 2. In Dota 2 there is armor types, they just never tell you. You're just supposed to know.
Oh, we get help from the chat. Yes, they do. They are light, but health camp is heavy.
Ah, cool. Damn, Twitch chat very well informed. Nice.
They're always right. Everybody knows.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Wow. Can you believe this guy, Chad? Doubting you. All right, we see the opener of the tree line. The dogs are eagerly awaiting this, of course. They see the movement there. Now they know that it's up, and that might backfire.
Gaunt's being kept very safely in the main base. Don't want to get ripped apart again by these hounds. Sick 'em is what B would like to say to them. But now with this many Gaunts, target fire and Fiend production, I suppose, is also a danger. Oh, he's got superior vision, right? With his scout ability, he knows that the Gaunts are getting over there to the creep camp, and perfect creep jack, if you will.
Oh, wow, B. Now I wonder how that will turn out. First one down, second one. Oh my god, he's in a sandwich. And he's not getting out of there at all. Needs a little bit of white health. These dogs, man. Terrifying.
And all the Gaunts are gone. that was a picture-perfect creep jack. Dude, this looked like a Warcraft 3 Pro move. Waiting for the creep cam to be taken and then coming in for the flank perfectly from behind. Wonderful start here for B.
Yeah, that was a creep jack if I ever saw one, and we saw why gaunts are called gaunts. Need to work a little on the spelling, maybe. No, G-O-N-E. Yeah.
Very frail indeed, as their stature suggests. But still, seems like NightPhoenix is not feeling too terrified to go for a third base. That will be attempted once again, while Gaunt production is still continuing. Favorite unit so far, as it seems. And of course, as remember, on map 1, despite those painful losses in the early, he still found a way back.
Okay, so similar-ish situation than on map 1, but it looks a little more stable for B here now. Economy is saturated. We're moving way earlier into Lancers, as it seems. And NightPhoenix didn't learn the lesson from Speed Camp number 1, just approaching the next, but this time without a creep jack imminent.
Yeah, he is in vision, thanks to that vision cam that was taken before. Imagine if it happens again, dude. 2 creep jacks back to back. But not gonna be suffering that humiliation this time. Takes the cam, gets the resources and the speed, at least on some of the units. Not all of them, but fair enough. While... Wait, is he going for a 4th base already? Seems like he might.
Okay. Well, first we get the health camp for the Therium. And Luminite with the 3rd base. Wow. This is pretty economy heavy. Wonder if it's turning out to be a little too fragile, but the Rams can be held relatively easy with the Bastar cannon. And this mine on the left-hand side, not saturated at all.
We do have a greater shrine now for NightPhoenix. Can try to go in some higher tech. Shadow Cleft and Ritual Chamber if he wishes. Trying to saturate his bases. Not quite there yet with the imps.
I could slide them over. Left-hand side base. Might need a little bit of help. But okay, dogs are moving out once again. Get extra vision, gather information, and resource camps. And here we see the Doombringer, but scouted immediately. There is no anti-air at the moment, but getting this information is vital. Creepjack now, shoes on the other foot.
Couple of gaunts in there. They have been spotted. Very dangerous if they make it into the back of the base and can shoot at the bobs. Of course, B should be on high alert right now. How is he going to react to this?
Need some buzzsaws. Got that one up here. That should keep the base safe. Nothing on Therium here. Hard to find an opening, but no protection. He could always work against that with Bob overcharge, and the Lance is in position. Damn, he's giving him nothing so far.
Another drop. Do we see the overcharge here in the main base? Seems like it would be a good moment to do it. Fiends about to start popping out. There we go. 1 and 2 and more might be coming. But the Lancers are doing a good job here protecting.
Nice repair as well. Couple of workers falling, but not a critical mass, I would say. And now we get the Exos out in a bit, and then we have an answer. Doesn't feel like this did enough.
It did distract, though. It certainly kept all attention on the top side of the map, on the Vanguard side of the map. This gave some freedom for NightPhoenix to also freely macro up. I imagine he should have plenty of imps right now. And now he finally also has some brutes to go up against the Lancers in the front line.
Is that enough? Doesn't seem like it. Dogs are challenging a flank. Here we go. Once again, the resource camp is active. Uh-oh, here comes the drop, and there's Shroud now, which is a 4th white health and more Animus here. Chaotic fight, but man, Lancers are so crazy if they get the speed boost. Cut my life into pieces. This was brutal.
Is this counterattack just going to finish the game? This is a huge force flying towards NightPhoenix's base. But he's got a bunch of Shroud Stones here. Very nicely placed, perhaps also with the Animus setting up another one. And here comes the defense. Is there going to be enough? Seems like a close call between the two armies.
Oh man, this is nuts. Can he move out of range of the tower? Doesn't look like it. Everything's about to fall. These Lancers, they hold the ground for now, getting some reinforcements. Oh, can he trample? There we go. Sweet AoE damage. We see the upgrade isn't finished yet. If it did, that would have been like a quad kill.
Still a bunch of Lancers here alive, but many of them so hurt. One more trample into the mix, and this could be a disaster. Plus, of course, the upgraded trample, indeed. But B made use of this time, expanded again. He's got 4 bases now as well. And finally, B is able to macro up hard.
Okay, game on a knife's edge as it seems. B stemming against elimination here. So, what's the next move is the question. Upper left-hand side expansion can, of course, be amazing if you get the scrapyard in front of the Therium, and then you get rich, as they are enriched with that vision. But then you can also siege it from the high ground. Upper left-hand side and bottom right-hand side, always 2 very interesting positions in the game.
And after a lot of action just a moment ago, seems like we're entering a bit of a lull. Time to macro up. I imagine there's also going to be seeing some upgrades coming. We mentioned the Magmadons before already. I wonder, NightPhoenix he must have an understanding here that we're nearing the late game. We're nearing the big bio ball. And what's his answer to that going to be? You were pointing towards drops earlier. Indeed, drops are coming.
This is a different drop now. Before we only saw Gaunts. Now we have Magmadons in the mix as well. And against that stun, it's really, really hard to maneuver and keep the workers safe. B should be on high alert. He saw that drop coming a minute ago almost. Here we go. So a couple of units falling. Exos here, not that great. And not too much room to kite as you have to endure this attack and hope that there's no fiends that the Magmadons can eat.
Evacuating, trying to with some of the units here. 1 Magmadon saved and a bunch of Gaunts. Pretty good drop. Of course, 1 Magmadon went down, but good escape as well. And again, lots of attention forced in the north, which means that there's another expansion coming up as well. NightPhoenix trying to get up to a 5th base bottom right, and we might be close to unlocking the late game tech.
That's the downside of a Doombringer, right? To move units in and out of that transport unit, it has to land. You can't pick it up from air, and that would cost him a Magmadon here. Is he willing to go for that fight again? Trample should be recharged.
Oh, the Bobs being pulled back perhaps a little bit too late. That is a feast possibly for the Gaunts. Is it time to drop though? No,
not
the Vanguard
yet.
army is at home. He's looking for a more exposed position.
Or maybe that base here. Can he close it somehow? Oh, was tempted. Oh no, the Magmadon on the left-hand side could have trampled through the units, I guess. A little unlucky with how the units spawned. Man, this is such an economy-heavy game and a big fight is imminent.
Yeah, over here at the vision camp, seems like the different armies might be meeting, and a sandwich position coming out from our Infernal player. Magmadons on the left-hand side, but the right is getting cleared up by the Vanguard. Lots of these Lancers, though. Very hurt.
Only 3 mags remaining. Brutes are helping out. Can he reach the Exos? Gotta diminish the damage somehow. Oh, he found a connection to the Lancers, but they survive.
With Exo still on the field, that's a lot of damage here raining in. They have the upgrade as well, chasing after with quick speed, but here come a huge trample from the Magmadon. Oh my god, stunning the entire army. Magmadon dies for it, but well used. But now the Shroud duration is over as well. Here on the high ground, NightPhoenix, not sure if he wants to keep fighting.
Huge trample. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Reinforcements coming in. That scout dog being taken out immediately. 4 shroud stones. This looks very secure. Man, what a match between these two. Seems like B needs to come up with something here.
Oh, he's making a shroud stone here, right? On the high ground. Love that. We're going to have some additional shroud, of course, being spread out. And you can also summon another Shroud Stone with the Animus. And heading again down the ramp. Seems like right now NightPhoenix is feeling very confident. Indeed, the Vanguard army is looking rather small right now.
Exactly, and that might be due to the lack of Matex. We only see the first one now. Army attention split, and that means the Exos are on! There we go! Flame on! And Exos gone.
This could be the end already. Has he enough to push through? The Vanguard right now on the ropes, hoping for more reinforcements from the main base, but they're just trickling in slowly. The Magmadon tramples, man. This was a showcase game for it. This ability, the showstopper.
Yeah, found amazing connections with the key unit of Infernal. And all of a sudden, man, B standing against the defeat. Another 2-0 for NightPhoenix. all that experience gathered over the past few weeks. It is so hard to stop that Infernal Force now.
Production is suffering as well. A couple of barracks might be getting taken out. The Infernal's army now wide spread out in the main base and the natural, perhaps. These units can be stopped. Oh, perhaps they can't, though. Ooh, the big ball. Congregating.
Oh, Flame Imps into the economy. That sacrifice was absolutely worth it. And now the 12 o'clock expansion is in shambles. The natural is in shambles. The base is being stormed by Magmadons and everything's just taken out. NightPhoenix is everywhere. Also in the round of 16.
Well played. Good game here, going back and forth once again. The Wolf not Wolf, the Dog Harass looking pretty good at the start. That Creepjack, man. Absolute beauty of a Creepjack. But in the mid game, it seems like NightPhoenix knows exactly what to do to come back into a strong position and knows what to moves to go for next. What his power spikes are, what strengths and weaknesses he has to play around. I really like those drops as well, creating space across the map. Even if he didn't find the most damage with the drops, it certainly enabled him to macro up back at home. And the Magmadons. Man, did they look awesome. That trample seemed to change the entire game.
That's right, man. And also, maybe lesson learned here is losing so many Gaunts early on isn't the worst thing in the world. Yes, that's of course takes you off the map for a little, but they are very, very cheap in comparison to Lancers and to Gaunts. You only need a little bit of Therium, which is a bit annoying, and you can get more charges with the top bar ability of Infernals as well. And we saw that was a sick comeback. Once you get the Magmadons out with an upgrade and there's no counterplay to it, it's rough.
Yeah, B did a good job holding on for a while. Unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to him. He's now out of the Open Qualifier. NightPhoenix has one more win that he needs to get, and then he's going to be in the top 8 indeed. His next opponent will be either Mixu or Adagramus.